Today we have David Kelly joining us to discuss how Zayo may be known as an infrastructure company providing big bandwidth solutions, but with fiber and transport to network connectivity and managed services, they are so much more. Welcome, David and Christy.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you. Nice to see everybody. So we'll jump through this here for you. So as she said, I'm David Kelly. I'm the Vice President of Channel Sales for our Central Region, and Christy is our Senior Channel Manager, covering you guys too up there as well. So today, go pretty quickly through this, but again, as the questions come in, just put them in the chat. We'll make sure we get to them, but we'll do a brief kind of overview of who Zayo is, differentiators that are out there for us. What does Managed Edge mean to Zayo, and what can that mean for you and your customers? Opportunities and next steps, and then like I said, we'll finish it up with the Q&A. So appreciate y'all like definitely being on here today. So really what you got to look at Zayo, I mean, from a product perspective, really kind of put us into three buckets, and most, as Jennifer said before, know us really for the bottom spot down there is really our dark fiber and wavelengths is what most know us for. But we also do great in the DIA and Ethernet type space. So when you look at it, we can really do big bandwidths really anywhere. We do a lot into data centers and a lot of dark fiber. But what most don't know that is a big differentiator for us is really the managed services side of it. And what we mean by that is more on the SD-WAN and SASE perspective. So we'll bring in a lot of expertise into this area, which you can see kind of on the right-hand side there with the cybersecurity, connectivity, and even voice. So we made a few different acquisitions that have built up the portfolio, which is what we want to do here today, is just to kind of get the word out there so you guys know really what is a good fit for Zayo and when does it make sense. Show you just some statistics. Just I'm not sure how familiar you are with Zayo, but this gives you some of these nice little at least numbers and figures to look at. 17.5 million fiber miles, 143 route miles with long haul and dark fiber, 48,000 on-net buildings, 1,500 data centers. So I can read a lot of that, but really wanted you to understand the breadth of what the Zayo network can bring to you. And you'll see that we do obviously a lot in the European market too as well, right? So you can kind of see our subsea routes and things that way. To really get more granular and a little bit more zoomed in picture, that's kind of what this is here. And this is more on obviously North America, but you can see we do have a strong presence up in Canada as well. And we are launching into Mexico. So if you do see, or if you have some opportunities in the Mexico route, that'll be some new things to see coming up in the future with the bigger presence down in Mexico. But kind of keeping with the same type of thought process there, some good statistics for you to see down there of how many core POPs we have, access POPs, and then obviously our on-net buildings. So big play when it comes into large bandwidth. And obviously from a reach perspective, we're pretty much all over the world, which is great. I'll show you here the investment that we're making into the network. So Zayo is definitely working on and continue always to invest in the network. And you'll see here is our 400G optical wavelength network. So you can tell by the colors here on the coding. I know there might be a little bit difficult to see, but you can see what's already been done, which is the darker blue there, and then where we're actually going to continue to invest. So you'll see some of the different colors of the different routes that we're going to be doing. But through the end of this year, this map here will be completely done with new 400G high availability network, right? So definitely making big advancements into it. Understand that bandwidth is the key, right? And needing fast, low latency type transport is what most customers are looking for. So we'll be the provider of choice for you there here. We'll continue to give you updates as we make some changes. Chris, anything you want to add on that?
No, yeah, when you think of Zayo, think big bandwidth, like David said, but in terms of opportunities and sending them over, we specialize in 1 gig and up for waves. We tend to only do 10 gig and up So just send us any opportunity you have from 1 gig. For Ethernet, it could be below 1 gig. But we are investing in our 400G wave network. And so we just wanted to make sure you were aware that we do offer large bandwidth as such.
Awesome, thank you. And really the reason for this is there is the race to digitize everything, right? So as you're looking and talking to your customers, it's all about getting to the cloud and digitizing and going as fast as humanly possible with low latency and abilities to automate as much as possible. So it's definitely a different thought process, but something that we're all getting more and more used to of that. And so Zayo is a great choice for you when you're looking at that. So we talk about competitive advantage, and I know a lot of people will go in different directions here, but really what we feel the biggest competitive advantage is the network that we just showed you. So when you're talking to customers, it's bandwidth is obviously key, right? Something that they need, and that's really the foundation block of the conversations. But then with that, customers are always growing, so you need somebody that can scale with the customer, scale with your prospects out there, but scale without security and reliability doesn't mean much, right? So that's an extremely important part for these customers, and something that we pride ourselves on from the reliability and security space. And then automation, right? How can we do things, more efficiently? How can we do it quicker? And then really being able to get to what are they going to do next, right? Because nowadays it's the transformation process is so much quicker than what it ever used to be, and you need somebody there that can do and move with you as quickly as humanly possible. And again, now we're sticking more and more on the network too as well, right? So everything that we have out there is riding the network, and so you can have the best solution, but if the network isn't up to par, it's going to cause you challenges later on. So we really feel this is a big win point for us. You'll see where we're seeing the majority of our wins are really coming in the managed edge type solution for us. And again, as we talked about in the managed edge, we're really talking more SD-WAN, SASE, and even voice. So we feel this pairs extremely well with the network that we do have. And really the key differentiator here in this spot really is the intelligent network platform. So we're using machine learning and AI ops to be able to provide information to you, as well as to the customer on just real-time events and things that are happening in their network. I'll show you here in a second too the platforms, because I know that's typically a question of, hey, what platforms are you utilizing? The great part that we do that's different with us is we're really agnostic when it comes down to it, right? So the infrastructure for us is really on the management platform of the SASE and the SD-WAN more than it is the edge device, and we have multiple ways that we can go about it. But when you're looking here at this diagram, you can see we can kind of touch it all. So we have the SSE that we can do. You got the cloud link that I didn't talk a whole lot about, but that's kind of what it sounds like, is it's really a fast pipe into the cloud environment, right? Everybody's going to the cloud to get the efficiencies and the quicknesses that that it's promised. We have great on-ramps into it and can get to pretty much any of the cloud applications that your customer is looking for. And in this world too, we obviously can do with BYOA, right? So you can bring your own access, but we also have our dedicated on-net internet access too as well. So really the whole aspect here to show you, and I really want you to get out of this, is the intelligent network platform that helps customers manage their business efficiently. It's completely co-managed, right? So depending on how the customer and you guys want, I know you guys are an MSP too as well, so maybe this is something that you guys look at. But you have the ability to completely co-manage or manage this solution set, and then the visibility that we give the customers, right? So in the Z Insights, it's a fantastic portal for the customer to really go in and see information, and being able to make really good information or good decisions based upon trends, and being able to get in front of issues versus being completely reactive. I wanted to give you just an idea of the evolution of who Zayo is. So we're founded in 2007, and we are a company of acquisitions. So the company started off and went to the first acquisition and did 13 of them there in 2011. And I'll kind of skip some of the other aspects of it, but really the difference came in for us that got us into this environment really is the 2021 type of range, right? So a lot of acquisitions done with QoS and Allstream. So if you guys are familiar with their platforms, it's definitely something that we continue to have and really pride ourselves on the way these companies operated. And Zayo has continued to allow that to grow and expand based upon how they've always run their business. So definitely an exciting time there. And then you'll see what we talked about with the 400G network is that we're actually investing into it, right? So it's organic network expansion, and we've invested $250 million into that growth. So you'll see a lot of that where the company that's investing in a time when it's difficult to do that, and a lot of people are looking to get by with not doing that, right, and riding what they have. And we're going out there understanding business is changing and the need to be more efficient and more effective. And we're doing the same thing, right? We're investing in that to provide the best possible service that we can to our customers and to our partners.
And I did want to add, David, so in 2018, we did acquire Spread Networks. That's our ultra low latency routes. This is super important for those trading firms that you see in Chicago a lot of the times that need ultra low latency from Chicago to New York. We offer one of the lowest latency routes, if not the lowest latency routes, and we're still putting investments in those routes and creating other routes that are even lower latency. So if you do have customers that are in the trading or financial business, it's very important that you do look at Zayo for those routes, as they will probably even be reaching out to you to look at us, because a lot of people know that is one of Zayo's sweet spots.
Yeah, great point there. So great point. As we talked about, so this is some of the solutions that we partner with, and these things we can either position them and sell them and manage them, or the customer can procure it, right? So it really depends on each situation. Most know us for our Velo Cloud from a QoS perspective of everything that Velo and we've done with Velo, but really the offering is extremely advanced, and it's expansive, right? So the great part is we can really pick anything, right? We can really sit in there with you, be a consultant to your customers, and pick the right solution that makes the most sense for them, right? We don't have to go out there and position one product set. So you can see everything here from the edge side, security, and cloud. And a lot of this is done on the APs and switching perspective. There's some monitoring things that we do, and but really seeing a lot of growth on the Palo Alto side. And obviously we still do a lot in Velo and Fortinet, but these are the products we're going. And again, we keep on even adding to this, right? So don't discount it too if you have a customer that has something different. The one that we try to stay away from, though, just so you know, is the Viptela platform. But obviously you got a lot more on here, and then Meraki will be added up here as well. I just noticed it's only on the edge, the downstream edge, but it'll be up there at the top too as well. And then the last part here, and then we'll kind of get it to questions. And again, sorry guys, I'm trying to ramble here to get through this quickly to give us some time. But I know it's important for you to say, hey, what does a typical customer look like? So if you look at it from a traditional Zayo type of environment, this is the perfect type of customer. You have a customer that's looking and needing to get to a cloud application and needing to go out there and roll out teams, right? So this customer is, hey, we need to go out and do this. What Zayo was able to provide was the fiber solution to them, but also our Cloud Link, right? So you have the Cloud Link, which is there in the middle, and I'm scrolling around like you can see my my mouse, but I know you can't see it. So
You can see it.
Oh, okay. All right. I was trying to go. I was like, I don't know if they can see that or not. But our Cloud Link, so this is the on-ramp into the Microsoft Azure in this case, right? That environment. And then we also did a DDoS protection, right? So I know a lot of customers are starting to look into that and getting concerned, and they should. This is definitely a growing spot and something that a lot of our customers are asking for. But healthcare is a great vertical for us. Anything like, as Christy said before, investment in financial firms are key. And then also regional banking, right? We do a really good job in that space. And really because of the security that they need and really being able to utilize the assets and the different things that we can bring to the table for them. So those are great opportunities for us. If you have those in your current customer base, would love to have conversations. And I think that's it. So we kind of get into some more of the questions, and happy to answer whatever you got.
All right, let's see if we have
See
any
what we got.
questions. It's been great so far.
Yeah. I know I couldn't have done that good a job, so everybody must be looking at lunch and ready to get something good to eat.
Well, nothing yet. If you wanted to add
Okay.
anything else.
I did want to add, we will be sending out this deck to you
Yeah.
so that you also have that. On top of that, we do have a Zayo channel partner handbook that we'll be sending out with just some additional resources, whether that's getting access to our partner portal, which just has a copious amount of resources, whether it's learning more about our SD-WAN product or learning about all of the other products that we have to offer. That's a great resource on top of our website. And then also getting access to Transact, which is our pricing portal. We can do another session where we can run through how that portal exactly works so that you're able to see our locations, whether we're on net, off net. I think that's an amazing tool as well, just to kind of get started and see if it makes sense to even send to Zayo to quote. So keep an eye out for that, and let's make sure we distribute it so everyone has access to it.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Looks like we do have a few questions. First question, can the pre-sales side get logins to the portal to quote the products you offer?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you would follow that partner handbook that I was just talking about. You would be able to email transact@zayo.com, and they will get you access to that portal where you'll be able to play around with it. And then we can set up another session, or if any of you have a specific question or want to run through Transact quickly, I can, I'll be available to also help run through that as well.
Okay, next question. What percentage of SD-WAN is Velo Cloud?
That's a good question. And I think what you'd see is, if I had to go look at the statistics right now, you'd probably say about 70% of it is in that Velo space. But again, we're seeing a big portion of the growth come in the Palo perspective. And then really a lot of the security aspects are really kind of driving a lot of the conversations now, right? So a lot of folks, while you can obviously do a VNF or a different type of solution with the security on the Velo, it's definitely not as well known for its security perspectives, right? There's a steady state firewall in there, but we're seeing, we just announced Netscope as one of our SSC players out there, and starting to see some of that conversation really come up. But saying all that, see a lot in the Fortinet space and Netscope, but the majority of the base is the Velo Cloud.
Okay, on follow up to that, can you take over an existing Velo network, or is it forklift?
Yeah, that's even better question and a point I should have made. So yeah, we can definitely take over. That's a big play that we have in any of this environment. One thing I should have brought up is you get into a customer and they've already invested in a platform. We can take that over, right? No need to forklift the solution, the investment that they made. We can take it over and manage it.
Okay,
Great question.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the ENA acquisition?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, ENA was a K through 12 type managed services provider in Tennessee, and that helped us get more into our managed services space. And again, I'm not sure knowing your background, don't obviously want to compete with you, right? So it might be something that is a little bit there. But ENA was fantastic in the K through 12 space. Brought them in around the same time we did the QoS acquisition, and it really brought in the mentality of how do we provide that structure internally to our customers. And we've taken it from a K through 12 experience and pushed it all the way to our customers and our enterprise customers. Because really, when you look at a school system, you have small, medium, and large, right? So depending on where that customer fits at, or that school district, it's really the same as a customer and enterprise type of environment, right? So we've been able to bring in the managed services practice. But again, if it's something that you guys are positioning on your side, we're not there to compete. So we'll obviously position it where and when it makes sense.
Okay. And is your SASE offering with your security tools or third party?
So another good question. It's with a solution provider, just like we talked about before with the different SD-WAN solutions out there. So it would be all integrated into our Z Insights portal where you'd be able to see the information there. But it's definitely utilizing somebody else's security type platform.
Okay. No more questions from what it seems. I want to thank you both for your time today. To Christy's point about sending the deck over and other information, we will put all of that out on the partner portal for everyone to see.